my birth.
What should I do now? If only Cyno was still around.
Excuse us. Has something...
Oh, I appreciate the concern, but who are you? Ah, friends of Cyno! Well, I suppose it's not a secret or anything. Since you two are interested, I'll just lay it out for you. My name is Nabil. I'm a Matra in the Academia. A case involving the smuggling of canned knowledge has come to our attention recently, but unfortunately, we don't have the people to handle it at the moment.
Huh? You mean the Academia is short on
Well, not exactly. I suppose the main problem is that the case suddenly came up after General Mahamatra Cyno left to go somewhere. It would be a real headache for us to tackle the case ourselves. Given the large scope of the issue, we talked things over internally and decided that we should find further assistance from outside the Matra. If you two have some time, would you lend us your strength?
Alright, since you asked so nicely, we'll help.
Yes, large amounts of canned knowledge from unknown origins have been appearing on the market recently. We suspect there's a secret route being used to move the capsules. According to some research, using large amounts of canned knowledge could lead to some serious consequences. And, unfortunately, most people... Rumors also have it that some particularly dangerous canned knowledge has made its way into the market. Regardless of whether the rumors are true or not, this case calls for urgent action. According to our current leads, it's highly likely that there are dealers selling canned knowledge outside the city, even as we speak. If you two could, please help us.
You can count on us!
Ah, it's you two. I knew I sensed... I'm currently in the middle of an investigation here. We'll have to chat some other time. There's been a recent case of canned knowledge smuggling. It seems that the smugglers are following an elaborate and dangerous scheme. I just happened to acquire some intel which led me here.
Hey, what do you know? We're also here!
I see. Well, the situation might be more problematic than you anticipated. I've already questioned several people. Long story short, I was able to learn of the secret location where the canned knowledge is being sold. You're welcome to accompany me if you're interested.
Whoa, that sounds pretty complicated. But having Cyno around will definitely make... Alright, let's go round up those bad guys.
Is this all you got? Seems...
What difference does it make? If you see something you like, buy it. If not, then keep walking.
They've been cracking down on us lately, so we don't have much on hand. If you see something that catches your eye, then now's your chance. There's no telling when we'll have more.
What does the Academia think they're doing? Alright, I'll take these here. Let me see what... I don't see any real gems in this batch. It's all pretty ordinary stuff. Whatever, how much do I owe?
150K. Show us the Mora, and you'll get the goods.
Put the Mora down and your hands up.
It's cyno! When's he ever gonna...
Hey, forget the goods! Let's split!
But don't forget the Mora!
Dun-dun! Not so fast! You can't escape with Paimon on the case!
What is this? He's got backup now? Doesn't everyone say cyno works alone? I don't like the looks of this. Either way, it's gonna be a tough fight.
It's over. It's not like we're making a big cut anyway. I'm not losing my life here.
Huh? Did they really just give up?
Just like the others I've cut. They're not deep in the circle, just dealers at the bottom of the chain. All right. I have one question and one question only.
The pickup location is different every time. The boss tells us where it's gonna be and that's it. We don't get a say in it. He sends someone every...
And when is the next batch coming?
I don't...
He's telling the truth. Honest. Normally, we should have received a shipment 3 days ago, but we didn't get anything. The stock we have right now is from 8 days ago, which is why there isn't much left.
I know exactly why they didn't receive their last batch. 3 days ago is exactly... I suspect who's ever running this whole thing knew that I was coming. So they cut all contact with these dealers. When you were trying to escape, you said something about me working alone. Where did you hear...
Are you kidding? We've known your name since day one in this business. The boss warned us to watch out and even gave us info about you. But here we are. I guess we never stood a chance.
They already knew all about me and were trying to avoid being detected from the very beginning. These small fries are the only ones they leave out in the open. And no matter how many we catch, it won't further our... If only we had another lead. Like a merchant who sells large amounts of canned knowledge.
Huh? Oh, you mean someone like
Do you have a potential suspect? You'd better bring them to me for...
Woo!
That's right. I won't turn a blind...
Oh! Sounds like we shouldn't ever let Cyno meet Dory.
I see. Anyway, I'll think of a way to deal with these two and then continue gathering information. If you manage to learn anything, you can find me at Caravan Rebot. And as for you, I don't ever want to catch you buying canned knowledge again. If you possess any unused
Okay, I got it. Just keep your nose out of my business.
Hey! What's with the attitude?
What, you got a problem with that too? Listen, buying canned knowledge is a deal between two people. The buyer and the seller. We don't need people like you butting in on our business here. Think about it. If the Academia is hoarding something as convenient and useful like canned knowledge, then they must have been planning only to use it for themselves.
The Academia has clearly published the potential dangers of canned knowledge. I don't like having to repeat things. And besides, I just hope you understand that your actions are what fuels the smuggling of canned knowledge. If I ever catch you again, I will personally... All right, Traveler.
Ha! You think you can...
Traveler, why don't we go talk to Dory? She's got loads of connect... if Paimon remembers correctly, she's usually...
I see. So that's the latest scoop. Good thing you didn't rat me out. Otherwise, who knows where I'd have to be hiding to avoid attention. No idea. Sorry. I've already cashed out of the canned knowledge business.
Huh? You mean you stopped selling it?
That's right. With so much canned knowledge flooding the market, it was becoming impossible to fetch decent prices anymore. Besides, it seems that group of smugglers has practically taken over the market. It's a little rule of mine to never fight for a share of someone else's market. If I'm gonna make Mora, it's gonna be the lion's share. Plus, with regulations getting as tight as they are now, I figured I might as well just hang it up.
Aw, sounds like we came all this way for nothing.
Well, not completely. Granted, I don't know who's behind all the smuggling activity, but since you didn't sell me out, I'll let you in on what I do know. After all, those smugglers have really crossed the line, butting their way into the market like that. I hope their luck runs out soon so that I can take over. I mean, so that the industry can become...
Hey, you just want to make more business for yourself.
Don't underestimate its value. Think about it. You can gain all sorts of knowledge while bypassing the troublesome process of studying. Naturally, that makes it a product worth a high price. Of course, not everyone needs that kind of knowledge, but in a market as big as Sumeru, there is plenty of demand. Plus, the cost of production is relatively low, so even if dealers have to cover transportation costs, there's still an enormous profit to be made.
Then why does the academia prohibit selling canned knowledge?
Being able to gain complex knowledge and become a scholar with the snap of your fingers does, but everything in the world comes at a price, right? Gaining knowledge is a complicated process. It requires learning, thinking, and practice. Even when it comes to my own business, I have to go through a lot of preparation before I put anything out for sale. But with canned knowledge, one may simply skip all the hassle and get whatever they need to know immediately. That inherently leads to at least two potential problems. First, you'll accept the knowledge as factual without a second thought, and you'll find it very hard to forget. This means that if the knowledge is flawed, then it'll be very difficult to correct. And second, excess use of knowledge capsules over an extended time diminishes your ability to think. You'll end up becoming like a library that can only store knowledge.
Oh, that does sound pretty dangerous. Traveler, you used canned knowledge before. Did you feel any negative effects?
Of course, using it sparingly is not an issue, which is exactly why I used to sell it. It's just like how medicine can be used to cure diseases, but can also do harm when overused. It all comes down to balancing the right amount. Anyway, back to the point. There'll be consequences if the sale of canned knowledge by those smugglers is left unchecked. And what's worse, you're playing right into their hands by focusing only on the canned knowledge that's made its way into the market. As far as I know, their real purpose is to distribute information about the Court of Desolation. That's where the real business opportunity is.
The Court of Desolation?
Rumor has it that it's a site of ruins from the age of the Scarlet King. It's said that with the treasures inside, one can see beyond life and death. But any research of the ruins is strictly banned. Word on the street is that there'll be an auction taking place in the desert. They're auctioning rare canned knowledge, some of which is... Once I heard about the auction, I began to suspect that all the canned knowledge popping up on the market is just a diversion. I'd wager that their real target is the Court of Desolation. Because studying those ruins is not just a simple matter. It requires knowledge spanning several fields. So, if they're aiming to quickly assemble a research team, as for the auction, chances are they're trying to attract and scout out anyone with interest or expertise. On the other hand, no one can say for sure that they will ever succeed in finding the Court of Desolation. So, they might as well just make a fortune while they're at it by...
Sounds to Paimon like we better head to the desert and see the auction. Who knows?
That's right. And now that I've shared all that valuable info with you, it's time to introduce our limited edition desert travel kit. It comes complete with a map straight to the auction location. As I said, I also have to make preparations before I sell things, right? Now, let me... I've got it! 500,000 mora per kit! That's quite the bargain. We'll even offer a 50% discount for little Paimon's travel kit. Only 250,000 mora.
What? That's super
No need to worry, little one. Cyno's the one heading this investigation, isn't he? I'll be sure to... All you'll need to do is tell him to go to the Merchant's Guild and pay the bill once the mission is completed. Just, be sure to not send him directly. I'm sure the former General Mahamatra of the Academia would never leave any debt unpaid. Oh,
we'd better get going. If Dory keeps at it, we'll be out of mora.
There are leaves around, and I know just...
News for you. What the smugglers are really after is a chance to research the court. They're hosting an auction in the desert to sell canned knowledge about those ruins.
The Court of Desolation. I won't ask how you came by this intel, but is it reliable?
We also heard that the Court of Desolation contains treasures from the time of the Scarlet King.
Partially. It was a secret place built by a dark sect from the age of the Scarlet King. The ruins do contain treasures, but the place is also rife with unknown danger. According to past research, one must forfeit their life as the price of entering. They are not some ordinary ruins, so the Academia has strictly However, if they are using the canned knowledge as a way to move information and recruit researchers, then I suppose your conclusion does hold some validity. Regardless, we need to go into the desert. Less in recent years, but there are always those who attempt to do so. both inside and outside the academia. After all, legends claim that whoever obtains the treasures inside can see beyond life and death, or even resurrect the dead. Death is often the greatest grievance for many people. Though they're fully aware that the chance of these rumors being true are slim, they hold tight to such fantasies and pursue them regardless. That's why some continue to research it, regardless of it being a restricted subject. On top of that, it's hard to track the source of information contained in canned knowledge. Do you know where the auction is taking place? Good. We'll go investigate. But before that, we'll have to get rid of these people.
Huh?
That's right. Let's begin to leave town and see what happens. I'm sure they'll reveal themselves as soon as we make a move. Don't worry.
That's cyno for ya. But we can lend a hand too, you know.
Come on, it's a rare opportunity.
Hold it right there. Heading to the desert, are we? I would think twice if I were you.
Huh? Who are you?
That doesn't matter. All you need to know is that someone wishes to inform you that it's not too late to turn back. You must be cyno. I've heard a lot about you. You've got quite a reputation. But this time you're in over your head. Unless you turn around right now, I'm afraid that even you won't return unscathed. And as for you two, why bother sticking your noses in trouble that doesn't even concern you, hmm?
That's right! We won't just sit back and do nothing!
Ha! Have you really thought it through? You're not just doing this for recognition, are... My employer said that he's willing to compromise as long as you just walk away. He could, for example, reduce the amount of canned knowledge on the market. I'm sure that would help your investigation appear to be successful enough. On top of that, he's willing to give you a cut of the profit. So you see, you get both Mora and a boost to your reputation. I can't think of a reason why you would pass that up.
Is that so? Well, I can't think of a reason why I'd accept. I've heard enough. Get out of my way.
Sorry, no can do. We're getting paid to ensure you disappear. Since you won't turn back willingly, then we're gonna have to...
Happy to apply.
That's close enough.
Surrender!
One with nature.
Nowhere to run!
You are not welcome here.
Surrender! Judgment is upon you. You stand condemned! Your penance is due! You stand condemned!
How regret.
This doesn't change. You're in over your head, cyno. There will be others coming for you. You'll regret. Let's get out of here!
No need. Even if we apprehend them, there'll be little information to get. I apologize for bringing you into this dangerous mess. Just being associated with me will inevitably... You should be careful from now on. Sleep with one eye open.
Wait, hold on! There's no way anyone could sleep—
You'd be surprised. Anyway, just be careful. Mercenaries are never quick to forget. In their line of work, they may even stay hidden in some dark corner for a very long time, waiting for the right moment to ambush you. They'll do anything to keep their prestige intact. Yes. I remember it like it was yet. I was carrying out a mission with one of my superiors. I didn't have much experience at the time, and I let my guard down after we had... My superior was injured while protecting me, and we struggled to gain control of the situation. I've become more...
Whoa! Who could have seen that coming? Was he okay?
He survived with a fractured wrist. It took 2 months for him to recover, but luckily, there weren't any further complications. Last year, he transferred to an administrative role for personal reasons, and no longer participates in live... His name is Taj Radkani, a very well-respected Matra. You'll have... Anyway, our mission will be dangerous. I'm already used to such grueling conditions, but I don't want to see you two get hurt.
Don't worry, Paimon will stay alert. We'll see danger coming a mile away!
Good. Don't worry. It won't be long till we're at the bottom. And once this is all over, I'll sweep away any other hidden...
Follow the wind.
We still have a long way to go, so you'll need to hang in there for a while longer.
Okay.
Of course, but I'm accustomed to these
Care to share any tips?
Just try to stay focused. Use your willpower to support your mind. Take one step after another. Don't let your mind perceive your body's limitations. We must get somewhere safe before...
Okay, if you say so. Just look around, it's just sand and desert. There aren't any monsters for miles around.
Watch out. Something's not right up...
Hey! With sword comes shadow.
The wind knows me.
Well, Paimon really didn't expect to see those.
Those weren't just normal scorpions. See? There are marked numbers on their pincers. They were... Someone doesn't want us to show up at the auction. These scorpions... We are surrounded by desert as far as the eye can see.
This place is super dangerous.
Something's not right. There are no roads in the desert. Stay still. Here's the answer. It must have planted...
Huh? What is it?
A miniature tracking device made by the Ksharawar. They can use this to discern your approximate location. But this device wasn't licensed for mass production. Where did they get it? Could someone from the Ksharawar also be involved?
Whoa! Paimon never knew that
They probably planted it on the Traveler during our fight with the mercenaries earlier. It was a frantic fight. It's only natural you didn't notice the device.
Well, good thing you were able to find it, Cyno. Now let's get rid of it.
No. Hold on to it for now. Let's keep heading to the auction. It would be dangerous.
They're back again! How many of them are there?
Incoming!
Time to go. One with nature.
Brings a smile to my face.
Weird. Is this where the auction is? Yeah, not a single soul. Maybe they're on break right now.
We didn't waste any time getting here after we defeated those mercenaries. They shouldn't have been able to give any warning of our arrival. But even so, they still knew we were coming. Someone here must have been watching.
Aw, what should we do now?
We searched the area. They couldn't have moved all the knowledge capsules so quickly. There might still be something left for us to find.
All right, let's take a good look around the area.
Did you find anything?
No, nothing in particular.
It's possible there weren't many knowledge capsules containing info about the Court of Desolation, so they carried those up. But don't worry. I have another idea. You two start heading back the way we came. Come back and meet me here after some time has passed. I'm sure something will come up by then. They packed up in a hurry and didn't have time to carry off all their goods. They won't just leave them here. Once they think we've left the premises, they'll be back to pick up their belongings. We just need to make sure the tracker goes far enough from here to make them assume that it's safe to come back.
Oh, Paimon gets it! We'll lure them out because they'll think we've left! Okay, we'll start heading away and leave this place.
Yes, and don't worry. If they dare to return, I'll...
The wind knows me.
Ugh, so tired. We've probably gone... yay. Let's rest for a little while before we go back to find Cyno. It's probably about... Let's go. Maybe Cyno's finally found some...
Time to go. Time to go.
Oh, looks like Cyno caught someone! So you're the bad guy behind all this, aren't ya? Alright, tell Paimon everything you know!
I didn't act immediately when he showed up. Rather, I laid low and observed for... He is not the primary instigator, but he is most likely one of the more important dealers here.
Yes, impressive. You certainly live up to your reputation, Cyno. If I had any idea you were still around, I wouldn't have gotten so greedy.
Huh? Greedy?
Once everyone knew you were coming, all the canned knowledge dealers abandoned their goods and fled at once. Obviously, there wasn't time to pack up everything. Since all the goods were just left here unsupervised, I thought I'd use the opportunity to come back and take what I could. You know, free merchandise is good business, but... I suppose there's no use explaining.
You must know who's manufacturing and selling the canned knowledge, correct? Will you tell us willingly?
No, I'll talk. But before that, perhaps if we stay here, chances are that someone will see me with you. That would put both me and my family in danger.
All right. Where do you suggest we go?
How about my home in Aru Village? It should be
fine. Let's head out. You can throw...
Listen, buddy, you better not try to trick us!
Come on now. Do you really think I'd try to pull anything under Cyno's watch? Seriously, what can I even do? This is my daughter, Simin. She can be a little shy of strangers. Why don't you run along now, dear? Dad needs to talk with our guests.
Oh, okay.
Everyone knows Cyno in our business, but let me ask, who are you two?
Paimon is Paimon, and this is the Traveler!
To be honest, I really didn't expect to see Cyno, the lone operator, working with any partners. When I saw the tracker start moving away, I assumed you had decided to just go back empty-handed. But even though you caught me, I'd still urge you to stop while you still can. You should abandon this investigation.
Why is that?
Everything from the manufacturing of canned knowledge to the sales and even splitting the profits. Every step of the process involves dozens, if not hundreds of people. Massive profits have brought everyone together in this business. Everyone will try their best to defend this industry that we've worked to build. It will be a long and difficult fight, even for you, Cyno. And even if you manage to win in the end, no one will thank you. If anything, you yourself might even feel remorse. Why are you so bent on putting us out of business?
Everyone has their own reasons for what they do. I don't have to explain mine.
Here's some tea, Dad. And for the guests, too.
Right. I forgot to offer tea to our guests.
Don't mention it. And, I should tell you that our tea tastes kind of bitter, but I put some sugar in to make it a little tastier.
That's my girl. Do we still have any sugar left? If not, I'll buy some more next time.
Yes, we do. Okay. I'm gonna go have a rest now.
Didn't you say that everyone's in it for the massive profits? That sure doesn't seem to be the case for you.
Actually, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. My daughter was born with a chronic disease, so she has a relatively weak heart and lungs. Even slightly strenuous exercise can cause her to faint and prove to be a life-threatening risk. That's why she never really had any friends to play with, and why she locks herself up in her room most of the time. She has to take lots of medicine. As for me, I was just an average merchant. I would wake up early and travel all around to make a profit. But the Mora was still nowhere near enough. I could only watch my daughter's health deteriorate, until one day, someone reached out and showed me a way to really make a profit.
Selling canned knowledge?
That's right. With all the Mora I made, I could finally afford medical treatment for my daughter. There are many others like me. Smuggling canned knowledge might seem like an unforgivable crime to you, but to us, it's a means of survival. I wanted to tell you all this so that maybe you could understand and change your mind. Please, stay out of this, Cyno. Give us a way to survive.
Oh no. That means that if we prevent the sale of canned knowledge, his daughter will...
I must get to the truth. I can find someone to help treat your child, but I cannot turn a blind eye to the smuggling. These are two completely different issues.
I somehow knew you would say that. But having your word to help my daughter is enough for me. Since you'll find some goods I received just recently. I think everything will become clear to you once you see them.
Whoa.
Yes. All neatly packed away and organized in boxes. Small producers couldn't possibly support such a large quantity of goods. Could the academia have a hand in this? But such a volume of goods would...
Huh? Look! These seem different from the other knowledge capsules we've seen. Maybe they contain knowledge about the Court of Desolation.
Yes, that would make sense. Wait, what's this? Yes, it's a Matra seal, indicating that the goods have passed Matra inspection. I started to suspect that someone in the academia might be involved when I found the tracker earlier. But how they could ship so much canned knowledge out of the academia was still a mystery. The pieces have now all fallen into place. With this Matra seal, goods can leave the academia without undergoing a second inspection. No wonder they don't want me to investigate. It turns out that a Matra is behind this. Even I find it hard to believe. Could I ask you for a favor, Traveler? Since all this canned knowledge came from the academia, then it's highly likely that the knowledge regarding the Court of Desolation originated from research. If we can enter the repository, we can find out who accessed these. But considering my current status, if I suddenly show up at the academia now, you'll need to be the one who checks the records. I'll write a letter to Nabil, and he'll take you there.
Sure thing! Leave it to—
I'll also keep working here in the meantime. Although our leads are all currently pointing to someone within the academia, it's obvious that they also have power outside of... We can get more information on other dealers from Bahari. I'll stay here and make some preparations. You can come find me anytime if you uncover...
Hello, we meet again. How's the investigation going? Oh, so you were able to find Cyno after all. I hope he's doing all right. I read the letter, and must admit that I hadn't expected things to be so serious. Sorry. Had I known it would be so dangerous, I never would have gotten you two involved.
It's alright. We wanted to help Cyno too.
I can tell that he really trusts you. The research files stored away in the restricted repository are far from ordinary. Everything there is essentially about dangerous research that's forbidden by the academia. Even I don't usually have authorization to enter, but with this letter from Cyno, it shouldn't be a problem. That's right. Granted, the academia is very supportive when it comes to research. They encourage scholars to conduct all kinds of studies. However, some forms of research have proven to be so dangerous that the Matra have to step in and put a stop to them. Normally, after some particular research becomes prohibited, the majority of the related files will be destroyed. But some information may be retained as a record to warn later researchers. Such information is kept in the restricted repository, which is heavily guarded. Follow me, I'll show you. Hopefully, we'll find the answers that cyno is looking for.
The restricted repository. Sounds kinda dangerous. We'd better keep an eye out.
Okay, I understand. Since cyno is vouching for you, I suppose we can trust you. You may browse the information regarding the Court of Desolation. Ask me if you have any questions. But I'd suggest avoiding any other research files. Sometimes the less you know, the better.
So this is the restricted repository. I never thought I'd see the inside of it. This is a first for both you and me.
There are many who do not openly converse with others within the academia. But even so, there are very few who I feel could be trusted with a real secret. Cyno happens to be one of them. Even though he's no longer in the academia, I still trust him. And that goes for anyone he trusts as well. The files are over there. Just make it quick.
lot to read here. Have you found anything yet? Huh. It reminds Paimon of Cyno's former partner.
His former partner? That would be Taj Radkani. But you're not far off. Mortada Radkani was Taj's—
What? Taj's son went to prison for researching the Court of Desolation?
Why do you sound so surprised? You're a Matra, aren't you?
It's just that they arrested him in secret, so it was never publicly known. All I knew was that Taj's son was taken to prison. It's not just me. I bet even Cyno didn't know about it.
No. Unfortunately, there isn't. He took his own life not long after he went to prison. You've heard about Taj, right? I know Nabil has. Every Matra knows him. I would say he's probably pushing 50 this year, which makes him one of the most experienced Matra. He is a man of integrity and honesty, and has made countless achievements. He used to be Cyno's only partner. Taj is also skilled with the polearm, so the two of them used to practice together when they weren't out on a mission.
Ah, right. I heard Cyno mention that before. But one day, Taj suddenly decided to retire from active duty and transfer to an administrative position. I wonder if it had anything to do with the Mortada incident.
Taj was already very well known by the time Mortada was born, so when Mortada came to study at the Academia, everyone had high expectations of him. He had to face a lot of pressure. Then he had an unpleasant dispute with his father, but they were eventually able to work things out. Not long after they had reconciled, Mortada was caught studying the Court of Desolation, which is in violation of Academia rules. Taj arrested his son and put him behind bars. He begged. Shortly after, Mortada slit his own throat with the pieces of a broken bowl. By the time Taj arrived at the scene, it was already too late. He never had a last chance to see his son. Since then, Taj has been periodically coming to the repository. He'll hold the files from his son's research with a remorseful look on his face. I guess that's why he chose to move to administrative.
I had no idea that happened. That must be really hard for Taj.
That's awful. Paimon feels terrible now. Are you okay, Traveler?
Wait, don't tell me you're starting to suspect Taj. Impossible. Taj would never do that. I mean, yes, he does have a big reputation and has but this is Taj we're talking about. He would never do anything against
But if you claim that the canned knowledge was originating from the Academia, then Taj is indeed because he was the only one who could have recently gone through research files about the Court of Desolation. There are so many files about those ruins that it would be difficult to restart any research, since the 7 original researchers were put behind bars. It's hard enough just trying to make sense of these files. However, if the files were made into canned knowledge, they could be understood immediately. By doing so, one could restart the research outside the Academia without anyone ever noticing.
But even so...
According to the legends, the treasures inside the Court of Desolation could allow someone to see beyond life and death. Or even bring the dead back to life, right? Though I don't really believe Taj would ever try to do something like that. I'm just telling you what I know. Do you have any questions? If not...
Paimon's kinda confused. What should we...
Oh, now that I think about it, Cyno suspected that the canned knowledge was... There's no way so many boxes could ever get through without drawing any attention. Maybe we could try asking people around the gate of the... Don't worry, Tosh. I won't let your reputation be...
Alrighty then, let's go ask around.
Excuse me, have you seen any large shipments of goods?
No, not that I'm aware of. Perhaps you could ask someone else?
Excuse me, have you seen any large shipments of goods leaving the academia recently?
Huh. Well, yes, but the academia consumes so many resources each day. Everything from cooking ingredients, raw materials, even equipment for experiments.
Right, but we're looking for shipments with a Matra seal.
That I'm not too sure of. I normally wouldn't notice whether the goods have any seals or not. Maybe you should ask someone else.
Time to go.
Excuse me, have you seen any large shipments of goods leaving the academia recently?
Huh?
I'm just checking to ensure nothing unusual has...
Well, I can't say it's unusual, but I did notice something. There's a Kashar researcher who's been making frequent shipments recently. When I asked him about it, he said they just contained a bunch of old worn-out machines. The Kashar used to often sell scrap machines to traveling merchants, so I didn't really think... But he's been making a lot of shipments lately. There weren't ever so many outdated...
And you didn't find that suspicious?
Well, the boxes were stamped with a Matra seal. Why should I bother? Of course, I did start to wonder about the seal once, thinking that maybe they forged it or something. A man named Taj came here and told me that he'd already inspected the goods personally and ordered me to leave the researcher alone. I couldn't question.
Impossible. There must be some sort of mistake. There's no way Taj would have... No, I won't believe it. Taj is an honorable man. Someone... Wait. I know another Matra who works with Taj. I can ask him to let us speak with Taj.
As I've already told you, I don't have any way to contact Taj. A few Eremites showed up looking for Taj yesterday, and he met with them in his office. I was standing outside of the door, and I vaguely heard them say, "Found it." Before I realized it, the door opened, and Taj left with the group of them. I noticed that he had also changed into... But Taj didn't come to work today, so I've also started to feel a little concerned about the whole thing. If you'd like to speak with him, maybe you can try...
A group of Eremites? Could Taj really be the...
No way. Taj is just like Cyno. They're considered heroes among the Matra. There's no way that he would... Fine. Looks like there's no other choice.
Hey, don't let it get to you just yet. We'll get to the bottom of this once and for all.
So, this is Taj's place. There doesn't seem to be anyone here.
Well, what should we do then?
No. Wait, the door's unlocked. Well, anyway, we're still not sure if he's the real culprit. Probably not a good idea to go in without permission. You're right. Even if we apply for a warrant now, we won't be able to do anything until tomorrow at the earliest. What's this?
It's a paper full of names written on it. Oh, and a map. Nabil.
Yes, this is definitely Taj's handwriting. These are the transactions between Taj and some other people. From the look of the numbers, the whole operation involves more than 300 people, including dozens of celebrities. I have a feeling that Cyno might be unaware of what he's up against. There's no way anyone could face such a large organization on their own. You're right, that's just who he is. As for the map, it appears to indicate the location of the Court of Desolation. If Taj really has turned on his honor and committed these terrible acts, then I suspect that he might already... I don't want to suspect him, but I also don't know him very well.
All right, we'll give these to Cyno and...